everybody.
Aloha.
Hi, Betsy.
Hi, Jonathan.
Let's see if I can see this. Hi, Ishi. Hi, Deanne.
Hi, Ishi. Hi, Deanne. It's Fourth Tuesday time.
Sorry,
Drum roll, please.
Set things up proper like and stuff.
Hi.
Hi.
Long hair,
skinny-eyed toe.
Howdy. Everybody got their cuppa?
I got my cuppa. Cup of green matcha tea.
Peppermint tea for me.
Oh, that's so much.
We have something a little different today, everyone.
And mystery guest. What?
I should have. Oh, hey, there's Fedge. Hi, Fedge. Glad you were able to get on. I better turn off my phone so it doesn't keep dinging.
Jeffrey. Yeah. For Christmas, I backed this Kickstarter 2 decks. Got myself a deck and got one for Betsy. Konsari cards, a supplement for your ghost hunting, seance, or spirit communication experience. Although it's interesting because it says don't ever do it in the same place twice.
And don't ever do it alone. Only with at the minimum of 2 people.
2 people, yep. It even says right here when you open it, warning, do not play Konsari cards alone.
It says this is an ancient divination system from Egypt to contact the dead. So, we're all over it.
Right.
Oh, I'm in shadow. I should come a little closer to the screen, huh? Yeah.
A nice light.
And the reason we're doing this, right?
Jonathan didn't know that this was my table here.
Yeah. When Jonathan looked at these, what did you say? Your first impression about presenting this on the live was?
I was like, oh, we should do these. And then I sat down to a reading and I went, oh, we should not do these. Then you said you got a random call when your phone should have been off.
I had a visitation the night before last. Oh, hey, Gerald. Hi. On 4 a.m. Monday morning, I got a messenger video call request. It chirped twice, and then the light flashed in the room and woke me up out of sleep. Hi, Internet Intuitive Tarot and Jewelry. And I thought, okay, that's weird. I thought I turned my phone off, but I know sometimes my phone glitches and it doesn't turn off. So I said, well, I guess it glitched, but I was pretty sure I turned it off. And then a few minutes later, it was, well, I'll never get back to sleep until I find out who called, because there's only a couple of people who video call me, and they would not do that at this time if it weren't something really important. So I better check. So I got up, picked up my phone. Guess what? Phone was indeed turned off. So visitation call. So now Jonathan's going to do a spread so we can see if we can figure out who it was calling.
Yes. And this is a very interesting system because you're supposed to do it exactly the way. Well, I mean, I guess they have multiple spreads, but the main spread here, you can see that. You lay it out in this grid, and then you take cards 5, 7, 9, and 11 away. And you're not supposed to look at them. That's for the dead to know and us for not to see.
Aloha, Silver Star Priestess.
Oh, hi, Heather.
See if I can get myself in a little bit better light here.
Problem is your backdrop is so.
Yeah, I know. There we go.
That's better.
Tone down the background. I was hoping that you guys could see what was going on behind me, but the sky, it's overcast today, so you can't see the ocean after all. There we go. And now it's official. You can see that I'm in my pajamas still.
No one would have even noticed.
Yeah.
Okay, so Betsy's visitor, we're calling to you.
My visitor, yes. And one of my first impressions about this deck is it has a lot of cool things. It has a lot of words like a lot of words like secret. And then there's these little hints of things on the bottom. And the images are very descriptive. Desire. Wow, that sums it up. Yeah. And there's also some cool stuff in here too. There is what are the means of contact. So there's, thermal, audio, auto writing, electromagnetic. So there's lots of really cool things here. And there's also like oracle words, help, suffering. There is things like the moon and karma. And then there's images of family members and other ways of, here's another one, visual. And there's hints about where the entity may be, hallway. And then there's the Eye of Horus on the bottom of this card. And the letters on the bottom, it said, when you turn the cards over, to pay attention to any cards that have letters because they may spell out a word that is part of your clue about who is trying to contact.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of cool stuff going on with these cards.
And I think it's laid out just right so we can see them. Okay. So the thing we're going to look for when we're flipping the cards is who, what, where, when, why, how, the problem, and the solution. And it could be any one of these. The answer is any one.
So, yeah. So who was flipping. That calling me?
Love.
Oh!
The first card is love. And it's got a T with a little footprint.
Well.
Second card. We have forest.
Oh, I think I might know who it is. Oh, I think I might know who it is. Keep turning. Now I'm excited. My heart just started skipping.
3, we have memory.
I chicken skin all the way up my spine. I know who it is.
A little filigree of greenery and an eye. Visual, we have a key and a number 2. We have man. Tactile with a candle and an F. Lock with Saturn 4. And cryptic with the sun sign and E. So
what are the letters?
That
what
last part over
I'm
here.
sorry?
Look at these first.
What are the letters that we have in there? How many different letters?
A, I, G, F, E.
E-A. Yeah, well, okay. I'm pretty bad at that, so I don't know if I will be.
G, F, E.
It's, yeah, okay. Even with all the vowels in Hawaiian, I can't put that one together. Somebody pop it in the chat if you can figure out something out of there.
Number 4. So it's either 42 or 24.
Oh. Yeah, that would be something. That would be something to Google. What's your impression, Jonathan, before I say anything?
Well, the TAIG seems like I want to say tag in a way. Tag fi or well, this is obviously someone you know because the first card was love, right? It's someone from your past because we got memory here. I think it's a man because we got the man card that came out. With tactile, cryptic, enforced visual. Lock too. So what I'm thinking is we pulled the ninth card to just bring it all together. Because the 8 cards are who. Who is probably a man, right? What? It's all about love, right? Where? In the forest. When? 24 years ago, maybe? Why? Memory. The problem and the solution. The problem, the thing that's kind of jumping out at me right now, we got lock here, and on our 4th card, we have a key. That's connected to visual. So, I mean, I think it was someone who was wanting to see you to unlock something that they've been dealing with. They want that key that you have, my guess. And so he's pointing out that the man card has the Aquarius symbol.
Well, let me know when you want me to go.
Tony says, for fig teeth.
For fig teeth.
You want me to flip that 9th card, because the 9th card is the... It's after initial reading of 8 cards, you have the option of reading of 1 more. This is a special card because of its numeral significance. 13 or 9, depending on how you look at it. It's a 13th card from the top of the deck you originally shuffled, as well as because we got rid of 4 cards, it's going to be the 9th card flipped over. It's a wild card, can be a final clue, but is only to be viewed if you can't make strong sense of the first 8. So I won't flip it till after you say your card. Yeah.
Okay. So when you turned over love, that was so unexpected for me because yeah, it was very unexpected. But this also ties in when I said one of my first impressions about the deck is that it would be great to use for cold cases, for missing persons.
Mm-hmm.
And so you turned over love, I'm getting chicken skin all up my back again. So I know this is dead on point. And then I thought, well, that's interesting. Somebody's contacting out of love. It's non-threatening, which is kind of my vibe anyway when I'm talking to ghosts. But then when you turned over forest, that was it. Chicken skin, I knew exactly who it was. It's Moira Monsalves, who's an unsolved cold case here. Well, no, it's not a cold case. The ex-boyfriend was extradited from the mainland, and I'm not real sure where it stands right now. But Elaine Lopez Bogart and I went up to Puli Puli Park, which is where they believe her body is. She's never been found. We went up there with some paranormal investigators a couple of years ago, and we both felt like she was there, and we did connect with her. So the love card, the forest, the memory, and the visual. We found this little mound in the forest, it felt like it was some kind of a fairy mound. And we connected with the entities that live in the underground world up on Haleakala. They said that they've taken her remains to the underworld, and she resides there with them, not in the living. That the hunting dogs that frequent the area, because there's a lot of deer and pig hunting up there, they know exactly where the spot is and they go past it. And the reason they've not alerted to it is because the woman, Mo, said she does not want her remains to be found, that she's quite happy and feeling settled and peaceful in Haleakalo's underworld. And if she remains lost, people will always talk about her. If her remains are found and interred somewhere, eventually the conversation will stop. And she wants the conversation about domestic abuse to continue. So that is why she remains a missing person. The man, the lock, the tactile is he has locked her body away because it was an ex-boyfriend and he did not want her free for anyone else to enjoy her company. Doesn't matter who it was.
Kind of goes with this cryptic card too. So it looks like they're looking at a map.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really pretty sure of it. And thank you, Mo, for reaching out. And
okay, so the ninth one is like pulling it all together as like a final message from the other side.
Okay.
Third eye.
What is it? I can't see.
Third eye.
Oh, nice.
It's the number 3 as well. So we got 2, 3, 4.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, I feel really peaceful. My lungs all of a sudden just kind of filled up with this great energy. I'm feeling super peaceful of it. She's not forgotten us. We've not forgotten her. That's really cool that she hasn't forgotten us, because usually it's the loved ones that are trying to contact, but she's saying she hasn't forgotten about us.
I love what Deanne just put up. She put maybe gate. We got GATE.
Yeah, thank you.
FATE.
Cool. Protect my energy, AAC. Hi, I don't think I've seen your name before.
Gift.
Crypt. Oh, you've got crypt.
GIFT. Gift.
Gift. Oh yeah, gift. Yeah. Yeah, all of it, huh? And you know, the lock card to me is kind of standing out, and it did stand out when you first flipped it. Is it just represents that her remains are locked. The remains are locked, in part by the Haleakala underworld that she has been she's assimilated with, and his intention, the ex-boyfriend's intention. And locking away the truth. I got somebody turning a key in the mouth, locking away the truth. But the conversation will continue from time to time. There's an old abandoned building left over from World War II on one of the highways here. From time to time, people paint her name on it to keep the memory going, to keep the conversation going. So it's my privilege to be a part of that conversation. Thank you, Jonathan.
Oh, of course. So there was one thing I noticed about the deck is on the backing.
Ishi, the 9th card was third eye, and the symbol was the Eye of Horus.
Yep. So on the backs of these cards, as I'm showing you here, sometimes it didn't get a full coloration. There's like a little, you can see that, but there's a little chip on the corner here. The only thing that I found is this is the one that has the most like obvious little chip, and then I went to go, oh, it's a chip, and I realized no, it's not a chip. It's just.
Oh yeah, I see some of them. It's like the edges were cut out not cleanly. It's like a little fuzzy edge on some of mine.
Yeah, well, this looks like an actual like chip in the corner of the card.
Oh, it sure does, doesn't it?
But when you touch it, it's not a chip. It's just like the printer didn't like had a bubble that where ink didn't show up. But I find it really funny that the one that has the worst mark on it is the card for blind.
And the symbol of Cancer. Oh, sorry if you're a Cancer and it triggers you, but take that, ex-husband of mine. One, and I
Wow.
have to, I guess I am going to mention this, but I'll do it very briefly. Some of the cards to me were a little triggering. So we have this wonderful image of father. Well, here's the accompanying image of mother. Yikes.
That makes me think, Mother Dearest.
Exactly.
Yes, Mother Dearest.
Exactly.
So the other thing about these cards is it says never to use it twice in one spot. So
yeah,
I am going to switch over to a different deck.
Even my mom on the other side, who was not the best mom, chimed in and said she felt that card was a little harsh. And she was self-admittedly not a very good mom.
Oh, mothers.
Well,
We
she
got
was
some good mamas in this chat right now.
Yeah. My mom was, she was kind of, she was like a pioneer spirit. She was, I tell everybody all the time, she went from the country club to the TP. So, oh, and a card stayed in the box. Okay, so I pulled it comes in the deck comes split in two, and the box is really flat and long. And so I pulled my two decks out, but a card stayed in the deck. In the box, it says it's the past. And so I'll take that as another message from Mo that it's in the past.
Okay. I am putting this deck away. I feel like this deck is one that you just like, especially after I read that it's based on a system of speaking with the dead from Egypt. I'm like, oh, okay. So this is like a once in a while tool. This is not a grab it every day tool.
Not an everyday tool. It's a really specific deck for really specific purpose. And I think that's kind of cool because, you know, I've talked about an interest in cold cases before, but
one of the reasons I got it for you.
Yeah. And this deck seems like it's at least a tool for that because I don't think I've really run across any. But by the way, TBR Tuck Box Rage. This is the worst ever because it's so long and it's so thin that you cannot open and close it without roughing up the edges, no matter how dexterously elegantly you try.
Dexterous.
Whatever the thing.
Whatever that word is.
Yeah, you can tell I'm on my holiday run. Worked seven days in a row so far. Another week to go.
Well, so for the rest of the readings, I pulled out the Dreamscape Oracle and the Ethereal Visions Luna Edition. So what I was going to do is this in the middle.
Hi, Kristen.
And then do a tarot card on either side for the message. So if you are interested in a general read or have a specific question, now is the time to ask.
Now be the time.
Can I just like be in awe over how shiny this is? Well, I don't know if you can see that.
And I'm
this camera.
Ooh,
So shiny. I love the bling. I got it. It's that little raven soul that's in me, little dragon soul. You have to have all the shinies.
So yeah, if anybody's got a question, pop it in. I'm coming up with some new ideas for some YouTubes coming up for this coming year. Jeff is in the chat, and he has a spiritual partner in Dallas that he works with that does snowflake portals and snowflake portraits, and they did one for me a few days ago. Let me see if I can get a picture. I don't know if it'll read on screen, but she did a very beautiful one for me a few days ago, and she makes the portal, and and Jeff does some intuitive readings of it. So we're planning a chat. We're going to plan a chat when I get through my run. We're going to plan a chat with those two folks, and I've got a couple other things I'm thinking about. So, anybody have a question yet?
Doesn't look like it. I might just start with a general.
Yes.
And both of these are the Kickstarter editions. So the Dreamscape Oracle has 40, whereas the mass market version of the Oracle only has 32. So my version of the deck has 8 extra cards.
Oh, wait, Jeff asked a question. What's going to be the best time for him to come back to Maui? And Deanne popped the question in too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's do the Oracle first.
Best time to return to Maui.
Wow, we got the selfie with 10 of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. So the selfie is all about, returning to home, taking the seal skin off, and someone's stealing it from her, and then her having to marry the guy who stole it, and all that kind of stuff. Have you ever heard the message of the selfie? And so for me, it's almost like you need to find that piece of yourself that's missing. And once you find that piece, things will start looking up with this 10 of Pentacles here, but it's going to take a little while, right? We got the 7 of Pentacles. So as far as best time for you to return, after you find that missing piece of yourself, don't rush things. That's what the 7 of Pentacles is all about. And make sure you're setting things up for the long term. Then things will open up for you to return.
Yeah, sorry. Look at me, old lady here.
Okay. Let me see if I can. Sorry if I get anyone seasick. Not my attention. There we go. See a little bit better now.
There we go. Cool. Oh, I see what you're saying now. It's like, yes, to find that piece. And it seems like the guy, he's got the post and he's like, whew, that's finally done.
Mm-hmm. Now I just got to wait for the harvest. And if you notice, the selfie is looking this way.
I heard pretty specifically reevaluate circumstances in 6 months. That was what I heard. Reevaluate in 6 months. So we're January, February, March, April, May, June. Reevaluate in June.
Jeff says best things to do to prepare for return. Yeah, looks like you need to find those missing pieces of yourself. Make sure everything that you planted has been harvested.
What's the shadow card, Jonathan?
5 of Wands.
Oh.
So it seems like there's an internal conflict going on. You have to deal with it. And once you figure that out, that missing piece, again, keep getting this feeling like part of you is missing. You need to do like a soul retrieval ritual, I think.
Ishi asked if Jeff was bringing the 2 and the 4 from the previous reading. Jeff is into efficiency, so instead of using lots of letters, he can just do 2 symbols to communicate.
I guess we should see the shadow card of the Oracle too. And that is the Prophet.
Oh. Well, that would be Jeff. Jeff sees people's purpose lines. He can tell if they're on track with their soul intention or not. He's always been able to do that. I've known Jeff since the the latter 90s, he's always been able to see if somebody is on their lines or if they're a little kind of taking a diversion, a little a side trip. That's cool. Yeah, the Five of Wands is kind of interesting because when you're looking at the Five of Wands, there's a lot of like clatter going on. It looks like brothers kind of beating each other up a little bit with the wands. But even before Jonathan said it, I felt the internal conflict more than the external also. So, yeah, knowing Jeff as well as I do, I have some inclinations on that. I think this has to do a little bit with the angel portal plan. Jeff has a design for an angel portal, but I think the conflict lies within that project. Yeah, hope that helps. And Deanne.
I'd love to know how to best wrap up my choreography for my students' upcoming show.
Wrap up my choreography. May I ask if a question on that? Are you talking about there's a performance coming up, or just
she's a dance teacher, so it's going to be her students' like final performance.
Fine. Oh, so you're wanting to know what their final performance focus should be, or to celebrate?
Well, she's the one bringing the choreography together.
Right.
Well, we've done this before, where I did a reading just to help her with the choreography.
Okay.
So Deanne, we start with the Luna month, right? So it's that nocturnal nighttime kind of vibe I'm getting here. But over here we have Ace of Wands, so it's I feel like the choreography should be about like that spark of creativity, the drive you get when you have a lot of fire. And then we get the Nine of Swords, right? Like how can your nightmares actually influence that, like that woohoo feeling you get from the Ace of Wands? So yeah, I see this as being dreams. Right? That's why I just keep getting the word that pops in my head is dreams. Deanne says performance in mid to late February, and she's finishing up the choreography within the next few weeks. So this is, for me, it's like dreams. She's looking towards that Ace of Wands, like the hope, that spark of passion. But behind it all is that nightmare card. So maybe a choreography section about how dreams can turn to nightmares, or how nightmares can be the gateway to a fresh start too. Let's look at that shadow card. I got two. We got the Empress. Hello, lovely Mama Deanne. And Judgment popped out. So it's interesting too how much the Judgment has a very similar vibe and coloration to the Nine of Swords here. So we both have that like wispy purpley background. It's interesting that two jumped up to the shadow though.
Can I throw in my 2 cents?
she just threw in her 2 cents because her pregnancy insomnia has been keeping her up, and she's mentally choreographing in the middle of the night. That makes so much sense.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Can I share what I got?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going in a different direction because when I looked at your original question, which was how best to wrap up my choreography for my students. That was what stuck out to me, for my students. So this is what I get is this is perhaps not the zenith class of students that you've had, not the most talented, the most capable, the highest ability of class you've ever had. And how aware of that are they? And how can you make them forget that? That not that saying that you are putting anything on them. There just feels to me this like underlying under the surface, this awareness, this vibration passing that perhaps there's maybe not the most graceful, not the most talented going on, and they know it. Like they're not going to be on the dance show. So how can you make them forget any of their shortcomings and make them feel going into their final performance that they are stars, that they are so loved and appreciated for what they're doing, that they're perfect and beautiful in the way they're doing it and expressing themselves, and that they have achieved their goals within your as your students. That's what I'm getting.
I love that. She says the last piece that she needs to finish is to a song that I call a life song. And the piece is called Rebirth. So it can very much involve dreams and nightmares.
Oh, wow.
Ghosts and spirits. Oh, I love that.
Wow.
She says, yes, Betsy, it's not as easy as other groups I've worked with because some previous groups have just been weeks away from the college dance program. Great advice. Yes, you both are right on.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm hearing it again. Make them forget their shortcomings. That's up to you to make them forget their shortcomings. And you can and you will. You have the ability to do it and you will.
Let's see here. I thought I saw Ishi. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm wondering if the cards can help with the following. In the new year, will I take the left path or the right path? The cards will know what I need. Okay, Ishi, let us find out what the cards have to say. These cards are really super flexible. Crazy possibilities. Let's see here.
Boy, there's a whole lot of questions I want to ask about this, but I'm trying not to. I'm just working my left and my right side to see what they can tell me.
Oh, we have Death Mother. King of Swords. Wow, look at those two together. And the Knight of Wands. Ooh. You're definitely on the path.
That's interesting.
Sure. Well, with the Death Mother being central there, I definitely feel more left hand energy. With King of Swords and Knight of Wands, I could also see that. I want to say left. You getting any dings?
Yeah, it's interesting. What's the card on the left? The Native American. That's the what card?
King of Swords.
King of Swords. Oh, that makes so much sense. And Knight of Wands, because as I was doing left and right, my left hand was cold, my right hand was warm, and as I started to move them about, my right hand was going in a straight line. Knight of Swords, grounded. It's like the knight, instead of rushing in, it's the grounded knight. Yes, and the path was straight and like a smooth flow. My left hand, as I was pushing it up and down my leg, I kept feeling this, like going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So that indicated to me the path on the left is got more hills and valleys to it. And so since it's the swords, that makes a lot of sense to me. So my answer on that one is that there's no right or wrong. It just depends on what your soul intended for this particular lesson, to take the smooth path or to take the path of learning, the little bit of back and forth, the ups and downs, a little bit more involvement. Are we flowing straight through it? Have we done all the work in the past and everything? You're really complete. This is like just finishing up this go at it, or do we still have stuff to do and learn and experience before we get to the completion on it? So
So Ishi says, I see left in the cards. The hills and valleys attract here. Betsy.
I feel that too. I didn't want to say it because everybody wants to take that smooth path, but it just feels like it's not quite complete yet. There's some experience to gain.
I just got validation because I pulled the shadow card and it's the Knight of Swords.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I want to stretch and learn, as she says. Yes. So resonates.
I love what Deanne has to say here. Because I love that you both answered for different aspects. Couldn't figure out how to ask the question, but you two knew how to answer.
That would explain my confusion, why I kept saying, I need more information. I need clarification here. What exactly? The left was the artist path. The right was the muggle job. Oh.
There you go. Wait, where do you see that?
At the very bottom. Okay, the left was artist path. Right was the muggle job that I'm sick leave from.
It only just showed up for me.
Yeah. You know, I kind of have a feeling that there'll still be some muggle aspects even with the artist path, because a lot of times art doesn't keep the roof over our heads, but better balance. And that could be the experience of figuring out how to balance it equally. I'm pretty lucky. I have a muggle job. I absolutely love that I work 3 days a week, and I have a lot of time to do this too. It feels like that same kind of vibe for you, Ishi, and I couldn't wish a better scenario on anyone that I care about than to be fortunate enough to kind of land it in a place like I have found myself, to where you can express both sides of yourself clearly, separately, and with fulfillment and love for those around you, and love and appreciation for yourself as well. It's like the epitome. And I'm sending that vibe to you, that this will come into fruition for you, or the process will begin with a bang in 22.
So, Protect My Energy AAC wants to know the decks. So I'm actually using two. The Tarot is the Ethereal Visions Luna edition that I just got. And I already had this, the Dreamscape Oracle that is matching set. Both of these are the Kickstarter versions. I know that the mainstream version of this Dream State Oracle has 8 cards less than my copy. Because the Kickstarter had 8 extra cards. And this is the newest version of Ethereal Visions that has holographic edging as well as on the cards themselves. And he's changed several of the cards to be more inclusive. One of the reasons why I wanted to get it.
The holographic edging. I just want to stand. I just want you to go back and forth and just let us watch it for a while. Ooh, it's like fireworks. And catching up on Ishi's comments about things. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cheers all. The current Muggle job hasn't been great since I started it back last January. I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and wow, they've shown their colors.
Yeah. Yep.
I have a backing and support, but steady pow.
Yes, absolutely. I feel thrilled for you personally. I'm still kind of trying to come back down. I just feel like your intention is intention is so strong on this one, and I'm sending all the support I can to you energetically. Beautiful decks. We have time for another reading if anybody else, yeah.
So AAC says, so there's a difference between the Illuminated edition and the Luna edition. Yeah, the Luna edition is Kickstarter only. I think he only made 1,500 copies, I think. And then once those get sold out, that's it. So, but I had to jump on it. It's one of my favorite.
How's about Jonathan throwing us a reading for we magical spiritual folk coming into the new year about any kind of little heads up about January?
White Buffalo Woman. King of Pentacles. Knight of Wands. That Knight of Wands keeps popping on that same spot.
Oh, I like that. Feels like our time is coming. Yep. Prophecy of White Buffalo Woman, King of Pentacles, grounded.
King of Pentacles, so we're grounded, but we still got that passion of the Knight of Wands.
Work to be done, but with stability. I like it.
And interesting. Shadow card is the Hermit.
Keep working individually. That's what it says to me.
Yep. Yeah,
don't worry.
The shadow of the Oracle is. We got Luna Moth coming back.
Nice.
So it's interesting that you got like this silver circle and a golden circle.
Full moon, new moon.
Mm-hmm. They're all offering a stick of peace, is she?
I think so.
Count out, no, can't out.
Oh well, the Protect My Energy AAC popped in. Jonathan, can you do me a favor and count out 11 cards and then flip the 12th?
Okay.
And also, Aquarius Owl asks, what will I learn or do I need to learn in 22? Oh, you're not going to like my answer on that one.
Here is the 12th card, Ace of Pentacles. We go with that King
Ooh. Of Pentacles. Ooh. Boy, those are beautiful cards, aren't they?
What can I say? I love that bling. Okay, so interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing it be more of that solitary vibe. I think it has to do with the fact that we're having yet another surge. Who knows where that's going to lead? More isolation for us, which as much as I hated my whole life getting like rearranged, I kind of glad it happened.
There we go.
Like this time in isolation. Well, it's not really isolation because we still got each other this way, but just this time of being in my own space, not having anywhere else to be, has really just helped me kind of tap back into my inner creative side, which I felt was like very much lacking for a while there.
Well, you've done some amazing creative works through 21. Unbelievable stuff. Absolutely amazing. And before Jonathan throws the cards for Debbie Aquarius Owl, when you asked what did you need to learn for 22, and I said you're not going to like what I got. Patience. You've been asking for some kind of like a DIY project for yourself internally, and patience is coming up. That it's the first layer to get to what you actually were asking for. So the universe is going to send you situations to call attention to your how you will benefit more from working through situations with patience, that to not hurry responding and to slow down and to sit with things a little bit longer before responding, that you're going to see this coming up frequently. And the more you're able to practice the pause before responding and allow yourself to stretch it out and get comfortable with that stretching out time, the happier it's going to make you. And yeah, you're gonna do it. You're gonna achieve it. I think you probably feel like you're already there, but this is like a leveling up. So it doesn't feel like it's a catastrophic kind of stuff. It feels like it's more like everyday kind of nuanced stuff.
Hey, so I just want to touch bases on AAC says the High Priestess has been yelling at me today. Ace of Pentacles. Am I remembering right that you got the Ace of Pentacles in that last reading I did for you last week? I want to say you got, it was the Page of Pentacles, wasn't it? Which is still that same beginning vibe that you get from the Ace.
Selkie, hi.
So, Debbie, I got Serpent. Seven of Swords, another Serpent. And the Four of Pentacles. Oh.
And the way she's coiled up looks like a snake too.
Mm-hmm. So there's definitely some like deep root work happening here. A sense of feeling protection in the wake of theft, because you got like the thief here, and then the person like clinging to their material belongings here, right? And that serpent's in between, looking like she looks like a tasty treat. So
yeah, the dude with the swords is like, the snake was kind of aiming for him, and he's like, nah, don't even try it. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll go over here.
It's more like they're looking away from each other as if they like acknowledge each other as kindred spirits. Because I've heard this Seven of Swords guy being called the snake in the nest, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
But he also doesn't trust the snake because look, even though he's looking away, like, oh, I'm chill, I'm cool with it. He's still aiming at him, like, well, don't even try coming over.
Right, like come at me. I got not just
Yeah,
these other four in my arm, and I got these two that I can kick at you.
yeah. So kind of like neutral corners, like defensive neutral corners.
Well, I was just tapped on the shoulder by the guide and said, just read the serpent entry. Okay.
What was that?
The guides just tapped me on the shoulder and were like, just read the serpent entry already. So I'm pulling out the entry. Like, okay, guys. They won't need to. They're basically saying that the message is needed right here in the words. The serpent. At the base of the world tree lives a serpent. He hungers and gnaws incessantly at the root, seeking sustenance. He does not care that this tree serves a higher purpose, nor that the worlds connected to the tree require it to remain stable. Without the tree, the worlds break away and fade apart. The serpent hungers and desires to consume everything and anything which stands in his way. He stays beneath the soil, devouring roots in his path, awaiting the time when he will be released from the tree to reunite with brethren. Meaning, beware of dishonest people. Stay the course despite the stress.
Mm. Well, that really chimes in too, because when you're dealing with people that are a bit shady, you want to just, I'm why it's that, you're not fooling anybody, but to just wait, take a little pause. Yeah.
This combo of the three is just like, because it's also like that greediness of the snake you could see here with her clinging to all the material stuff. Oh, Ishi brings up a good point. Some serpents get restless when they're shedding their skin.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it also will allow you to really uncover and discover a little bit more about yourself in this pausing thing instead of going with your initial response to wait a little bit and see what's underneath that initial response, to see what emotion is under there, or what it is, if that, how it calls to you. Is it disappointing? Is it brings up for you some kind of a issue with justice and fairness? And what are the feelings that are underneath those things? I think it's a really cool path of self-discovery on this one.
The shadow card makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah.
You got the world.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that card.
That's one of the reasons I got this deck. They took Ethereal Visions and updated it to have inclusivity of not just skin tone, but also body shapes and ages. Like the Hermit's actually an old guy. Oh, bye, AAC. Thanks for being here. She has to go fry up some chicken. Debbie says, I can lash out. I know taking a pause would do me good. Let's see what the shadow of the oracle.
Yeah, I think you have the potential to be really happy with your outcomes.
Patience is a virtue. Exactly, Debbie. Yeah, here is the shadow of, we got the fawn, right? The new life, which also is all about shedding the skin to become something new, right? But it takes time, right? It takes patience. I mean, that snake skin is super tight. Then the snake has to find things to like rub up against, right? So
And the innocence and the purity of the fawn is what's waiting for the discovery here with that, to be able to.
well, and it kind of goes with that world card too. They both have
Yeah.
the mists swirling around them.
To allow that fawn to walk beside you and not feel like to feel the strength of that as well, to allow that vulnerability to accompany you equally with your other strengths, the balance that lies in there, allowing the fawn to walk beside you, really empowering.
I just have to share this card because it's gorgeous. This 10 of Cups here.
Oh my.
I love this image.
Look at that baby. Yeah, I picked them. Yeah, that's me. I picked these.
Yeah, these are my mom's. You're right. Issue 6 is the lovers. We're going into this year was the Hierophant year, right? The 5. So 6 is the lovers. Okay, I hope that's helpful, Debbie. Sorry, I woke up with a little bit of I don't know what is going on. I'm fine with it, and then I start like having shortness of breath a minute.
Just before we went on, I took a minute. I sat down for a minute and doing one final preparation, necessity preparation before we came on, and my heart rate jumped and I got a hot flash, and I said, "Oh, I'm connecting with Jonathan. What's going on?"
I woke up with like, I don't know, some weirdness. Like I definitely feel like something, like I'm catching something.
Yeah.
Something, but it's like it's mild, so I can kind of ignore it. But then every so often I get like this tickle in my throat.
Well, how in Fat Greek Wedding that they use Windex for everything. I have my own version of that, and that's baking soda. Take a half a teaspoon of baking soda and a shot of water. And I use baking soda for everything. It works wonders on food poisoning, by the way.
Good.
And I use it for everything.
Well, right now I've got the perfect voice for it, don't I? Love her. Yes, it is a lover's year.
My lover didn't come out. Bert's hiding under the table right behind me. I thought my familiar would come out and play. He loves to play familiar. I'm catsing again, but
let's do.
Oh, he's on top of the table. Wait a minute. He's on top of the table. There, you can barely see him. There he is. Bert.
Oh God, I've been spotted.
Oh, yeah. So he'll sit down and lick.
Ooh, Guardian.
What are we doing?
Collective. Temperance. Cool. And the sun.
Wow.
Wow. And look, they're all carrying a burden, aren't they?
Hi, Maria.
Wow. Hi, Maria. So the Guardian is telling us to guard our balance and guard our happiness. This is just for the end of the year, right? So I would say spend your New Year's with loved ones. Spend your New Year's in a balanced way, and embrace that happiness. So let's see what the shadow. Oh, of course, 4 of Pentacles. So don't be so clingy to things, the material, that you forget that it's so much more than material. My family's getting their breakfast together. Oh, you're gonna love this, Betsy. The shadow card for the oracle is sea turtle.
Oh, hi, little bugger. I miss you. I haven't been in the water in a couple of weeks now.
It's been a while for me too.
Hi, little bugger. Sweet.
Yeah, this is definitely about, guarding your happiness and your balance, not letting the material overwhelm you, and also learning how to go with the flow.
And also the turtle is the traveler, and no matter where they go, their home is always with them. And to remember that we carry that within us.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Wrong with this little deck if things are not in order. Okay, sea turtle. The sea turtle is a gentle creature with long lifespans. It can swim over vast distances. It can take decades to reach full maturity, granting them insight and wisdom only accumulated through time and experience. Sea turtles represent the journey and have infinite patience as you walk the path and learn from the lessons given along the way. When the sea turtle comes into your life, it may be time to look at the big picture, start planning for the long haul. Are you ready for the future? Now is the time to start planning.
Cool.
Meanings: enjoy the journey of your life, start planning for the future. Kind of goes with everything else here, doesn't it?
Well, what would you plan? I think I'd try and plan for a graceful dismount.
Oh, my mom says it's time to plan for an MRI.
Yeah. It's been an hour and some already. Time goes so fast.
Right? Oh, Deanne says that she drew a sea turtle, the water card from the Witch Oracle this morning. Nice.
Cool.
Oh, Maria, this is the Ethereal Visions Luna edition. There was a Kickstarter. And it is completely covered in holographic. It's gorgeous. And it goes with the gold bling of the Oracle, which was originally meant to go with the gold of the first edition of the Tarot deck. I just love my bling. What can I say?
It's so fun to see everybody. It seems like it's been a coon's age since I've seen all y'all.
Yeah, it's only been a month, though.
I know it's only been a month. It just seems, I don't know.
Longer.
I just feel like I'm more connected today, I guess. Maybe that's what I'm feeling. It feels like I'm really dialed in and the energy is really sweet today. So we've had great inquiries and great intentions and desires within those. So feels really yummy today. And we got a great message from Mo.
Yes. That was cool.
That was really cool. I'm gonna once you get
deck.
posted, I'm gonna rewatch that so I can experience it as a viewer instead of an experiencer.
Thank you, Deanne.
Yes, thank you. So lovely.
Thank you, everyone who was here. And I know I have something next week, but I'm blanking at the moment. What is the 4th? On the 4th, I'm doing. It just completely fled my brain.
Well, maybe we should, Jonathan, you and I should talk about resuming our monthly on my channel too. I don't know if you've got time to do that or not. Let's talk about that. Terry Pratchett Discworld is on the back of 4 elephants stood on the great sea turtle. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite descriptions of how World is, that Discworld series.
Yeah, he was a talented guy. I know that. Oh, and look, now you can see Mr. Familiar back there. Look at him back there, pretending like he's completely uninvolved. Thanks a lot.
I'm just a cat.
He's been through heck though. He was at Jonathan's hubby's clinic for a couple of days with the crystals, but he's all recovered after 2 weeks of meds, 2 days in the hospital, 3 days in the hospital, and 2 weeks of meds. He's all perked back up and he's loving and cuddly and put all his weight back on immediately.
He's like, what, huh?
Oh, is Frank there?
Yeah.
It was Dr. Mitchell that actually treated him, but thank Dr. Mitchell for Bert.
Remember Bert?
No. I mean, they got what, how many animals in there at one time? Yeah, no, but anyway.
Books, so.
Yeah. Anyway, Bert's all better thanks to the care of At Home Pet.
At Home Animal Hospital. Yep. Shout out to them. And shout out to my husband, Dr. Lassise.
That's right.
He was the best surgeon on Maui for animals. He looks kind of embarrassed right now.
Yeah. When I called in for Bert, I spoke to Dr. Dewey's husband, and I told him about Dr. Dewey and I stapling a cat's neck together on my kitchen table up in Kula. He was like, oh! She's game, yeah. Man. I was game. She was game. So, kabang! Yeah. I actually found you, Jonathan. I was looking. Nice to meet you, Betsy. Hi, Silver Star Princess. Hope you all have a beautiful day and night where you are. Lots of love. Lots of love to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Heather. Shout out to Frank. He's sitting over there going, hey. Oh, nope, still going. We're like, who am I seeing on the 4th? I know I have someone lined up, but it's just totally escaping me right now.
Yeah, pop it in the comments.
Oh, if Gerald is here, there is something I want him to see. I'm going to go to the full screen again.
Yeah, Gerald was here earlier.
Yeah, well, he's not the only one.
Oh, it's Taro! Holy cow! Wait, okay, wait. I have
the sun, the fool, death, the lovers, judgment, the magician, the empress, the wheel of fortune, and then
okay. I don't have the right necklace, but I'm clutching my necklace. I'm clutching my lights. That was a clutch of pearls moment right there. Woo! Yes, absolutely. Fabulous. Too fabulous.
On that note, thank you everyone for being here. We will see you next year, I guess, unless we see you on a chat.
Yep.
Aloha and a
aloha. Oh,